Hi, hi, hi. Hello. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Zoe D Speaks. I am Zoe. You are, if you are tuning in for the first time, this is a part four study or four-part study on raw sex, covering the topics of physical sex, biblical sex, spiritual sex, and illegal sex, of course, in the spirit realm. So I am once again Zoe. You can connect with me at Zoe D Speaks if this is your first time tuning in to a broadcast from me. I am on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, blogger at Zoe D Speaks. ZoeDeespeaks. What's up? So I'm not gonna be long. This is gonna be very short. Part two is very short because we just go into the physical realm of sex, and I'm not going like giving a whole science lesson. Just giving a couple of pointers as it pertains to why sex is so dang on powerful, right? So, I am. If this is your first time tuning in, my mandate, my passion, my purpose is to talk about sex. Like I share my testimony from sexual perversion, sexual oppression, sexual depression, sexual encounters with in the spirit realm. So that is what I talk about. I talk about sex, I talk about family, I talk about restoration of family. And so I believe that this is part of my mandate to be the one that actually is bold enough to speak on something that everybody loves to do, but very rarely want to discuss in this type of environment. And so anyway, this is part two. I'm going to briefly go through part one. Once again, this is the Raw Sex Divine Intimacy virtual series. We are going to discuss biblical, physical, spiritual, and illegal sex. Yesterday, or you might be tuning in a couple of days after, weeks after, years after, but we discussed biblical sex from a biblical base. So I believe in the Old and New Testament. I just gave a few scriptures. If you did not catch this particular live, then feel free to follow or go back to actually catch the live on biblical sex. So today we're going to be talking about physical sex. So we all understand how physical sex works. You know, you have foreplay, which includes usually oral sex or, kissing and touching and all of that good stuff that brings an arousal of a penis and makes the penis erect. You have the vagina walls begin to lubricate, and you get hot flashes and all that type of good stuff like that that puts you in the mood, right? But did you know that according to the science, according to science, when you have sex, the part that is you have a part in your brain that's responsible for making sound, reasonable decisions, reasonable judgments. This is the same region of your brain that is also responsible for lowering your cortisol levels or your fear levels or your anxiety levels. This is the part of your brain that is responsible for lowering the anxiety in your adrenal glands. And so, like I said, I'm not going to get too technical. I really just want to plant some seeds because I want to make sure that we are at an understanding of how powerful sex is from every single level. And so, with this, you have your brain and you have parts of your brain that are responsible for making sure that you think. It's the same thing like when you drink. When you become intoxicated, like your frontal lobe just shuts down to preserve your body. And so you have, sometimes you black out and you don't even remember what happened, or you also begin to lose sound judgment. I've done plenty of things intoxicated that I probably not probably that I would have not done if I were fully sober, what's the song? Blame it on the booze. Like, seriously, that is a thing. So sex is the same way. When you have sex or engaging in sex, this parts of your brain shuts down completely. So you end up not necessarily doing the things that you would do or think or respond to if you were not having sex. Like, this is, the science backs this. Also, while these particular parts of your brain are shutting down, you have other parts of your brain that is activating more emotional processing. So you are filtering through more emotional aspects than logical aspects. And in women, we have two particular parts of our brain that shuts down. Go figure, right? One that controls the social judgments, obviously, and the other that is linked to our self-awareness or our inhibitions, which makes us, you know bring that boldness out, that freak out, as some people would say. Like, you kind of lose yourself, like you become more daring, you talk, y'all know how we get, like, when those inhibitions come down, because our brains, the part of our brain that's responsible for social judgments and sound reasoning, is completely like shutting itself down, while these other parts of our brain that's saying, okay, you're safe, you can relax, have fun, right? They're activating more and more. And so, in other words, you lose control of your logical and your mental processing as you normally would. This is not just something that I'm saying to sound good. This is completely backed up by scientific research. And I mean, it's biological processes. Like, they have the MRIs that show parts of your brain that are highlighted during parts of sex, before sex, during sex, and after sex. And so, me being a lover of biology and a lover of science and a lover of the word, once again, I believe that the Most High designed our body so, 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 so magnificent to be able to enjoy this gift. I talked about in the last video how sex is a gift for marriage. So when you look at what your body actually does, it completely puts you in a safe zone to embrace this gift. I just think that's amazing. So, in other words, you lose control. Okay. I think Missy said that, right? Um, so, hormones. Let's talk hormones. The hormones that you have when you have an orgasm, your brain actually releases a lot. Okay, and I'm only going to talk about a few, but there are other hormones that your body releases during sex. One of these is called dopamine. Sounds like dope. Addiction. If that's the first thing that comes to your mind, then you're absolutely correct. This hormone is responsible for you feeling good, you feeling high, you feeling desired, you feeling motivated. Is often referred to as the pleasure drug, or the reward drug in your body, because it's the hormone that releases when you're doing something that makes you feel good, when you're dancing, when you're drinking, if you smoke, when you smoke, if you gamble. If you some people have a Facebook addiction, if you are addicted to the likes on Facebook, like, well, every time you get a like, if that part triggers dopamine to be released, in a lot of people, that is very, very common. What else? When else does dopamine release? When you eat food, or you have that drink, maybe not an alcoholic drink, but maybe like your favorite beverage. For me, I love pecan pie. Pecan pie is like, I know I release dopamines when I eat pecan pie, like, seriously. Wine and all that good stuff. So, any other common addictions or hard addictions? Some people have sex addictions because it can be a drug, because of the dopamine that is released during sex. So, once again, I just think that the Most High is just amazingly brilliant in how He designed our bodies to be fulfilled with such an amazing act, such as sex. Moving on. Your body also releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is a very interesting hormone, because you kind of see it more released in women than men, but nevertheless, it is the hormone that is responsible for you feeling close and affectionate to the person that you're having sex with. is known as a bonding hormone. It's also the same hormone that's released when a woman breastfeeds. So when a woman breastfeeds, that oxytocin is released to create a bonding effect between that mother and that child. When your nipples are stimulated, you feel that oxytocin releases, which makes you feel good, and it has also pain relieving properties. So I've been told and experienced that you got a headache, go have sex. Like, you feeling some pain, go have sex, because it releases a certain pain relieving property that we love. So stop taking all that medicine and just go have some sex, okay? Some legal sex, some biblically legal sex. I have to promote it like that. Prolactin is another hormone that accompanies oxytocin, and it releases that feeling of satisfaction. If you've had good sex before, like, I'm only probably regurgitating or confirming what you know that you felt it. You probably couldn't put it in words like this, but you have felt it. And so this is why you feel those things when you have sex, right? Another hormone is, if I can say it correctly, vasopressin. Vasopressin. This hormone is a little bit more elevated in men sometimes. Um, Studies are kind of like iffy about that, but either way, this is a hormone that's responsible for attachment, and it's released after sex. So this is the hormone that basically says, I'm yours, you're mine. Like, when you have sex with a person and this hormone releases, it's like, okay, now we're attached, like we're bonded together. Do y'all see that? Like, are y'all really grasping the seriousness of what happens in your body when you release yourself to someone in this manner? After you have sex, your body also releases serotonin, rhymes with melatonin. Serotonin makes you feel happy. Serotonin makes you feel relaxed. Those that deal with anxiety and depression, definitely depression, your serotonin levels are usually lower. And so the medicine that, if you have medicine or seek medicine, that medicine that they put you on is supposed to raise those levels. But I've heard that it can make you feel completely like a zombie. I don't necessarily promote all of that, but serotonin is something that your body produces naturally. And it makes you feel happy. It makes you feel peaceful. It can even make you feel drowsy. A lot of men end up going to sleep right after sex because of the chemicals that are released. And it's like, okay, I'm done, right? Oxytocin also continues to be released after women orgasm. And that, if we remember, is that connecting, that bonding thing. So that's a lot of why, as a woman, you feel more connected, or you should feel more connected. If you don't, then your levels are probably lower. Your heart is probably, excuse me, a little bit colder than it should be. But even if you don't feel emotionally attached, your body is releasing this hormone in spite of. That's bonding and connecting with whomever you're having sex with. Another hormone is DHEA, which is said to be an antidepressant and boost of immunity. Fun fact for those that like a little roughness in the bedroom, your body also releases endorphins, which makes you less sensitive to pain. So it would seem natural that if you like, the hair pulling and all that type of stuff like that, it doesn't hurt as much as it does. You might feel it afterwards. Even with the stretching and all that, like, you can probably get in some major positions like during the sex, and then afterwards you be like, dang, like, what happened? What did you do? My leg, ouch, like, you gotta, go soak or something. So, but your body releases endorphins, which make you less sensitive to pain as you're having sex. So all of these hormones and all of these brain signals are being released so that you can enjoy sex. Like, sex is supposed to be completely pleasurable, and it is, once again, a gift, which I say and I stand on, for the man. So once again, if you caught part one, I'm going to say it again here in part two. If you're married, take a sex challenge. Like, you and your hubby, you and your wife, Go and have sex like 7 days straight, a couple of times a day if you can. I know we're married and probably with kids and work and all that, but 5-10 minutes. I mean, make it do what it do. Okay, I'm talking to the married folks. All right. So once again, this is just a really quick breakdown on the physical components of how the Most High has designed our bodies to enjoy sex. Sex is a good thing. Like, don't let anybody tell you any different. Okay. So we have covered biblical sex and physical sex. The next couple of videos will be breaking down spiritual sex and illegal sex. And when I say illegal, I mean illegal from a spiritual standpoint. We're going to get into different consequences and different things that I've experienced and other people have experienced when it comes to the spiritual and the spiritual component of sex when as it pertains to sexual energy. Once again, pretty much scientific, but science only confirms what the Bible says. So sex is also an exchange of energy, and we're going to talk about this component in the next video. So in conclusion, or in my ending, just a little bit about myself. If this is your first time tuning in, once again, I'm Zoe. I'm an entrepreneur, an artist, an author, a life coach, and a believer, a believer of the Most High. I have written over 10 books, really more than that, but not all of them are published. And my passion, my mandate, my purpose is really to help teach how important these topics are, especially in the younger generation. The older generation, cool too, for those that want to listen. But really, I desire to teach young people what I was never taught, and a lot of lessons that I learned through experiences and through just really just being disobedient and hard-headed and consequences. And so I've experienced a lot of oppression as it relates to sexual sin, a lot of strongholds as it relates to sexual sin, some of my own, some that were passed down to me. And so I share those experiences very boldly, very transparently with the younger generation as well as the older generation to help both generations. I was a public school teacher for 9 years, and I left the classroom to pursue this speaking, to pursue writing, to pursue reaching my audiences, which have now turned international. So once again, you can follow me on Facebook. You can connect with me on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter. My blog is zoedspeaks.com. And then if you're interested in booking or just learning more about me or purchasing any of my books, all of my books talk about sex in one realm of another as far as it pertains to my testimony. But you can visit my website at witnesslegend.com/Zoe D Speaks. I am co-owner. My husband and I own a LLC, an umbrella company called witnesslegend.com. And so all of our businesses are housed on this website. So you can go to witnesslegend.com/Zoe D Speaks and visit my books. You can hear the song that I've written and book. If you're interested in booking, I do speaking engagements. I'm available for speaking engagements for youth and for older as well. And so until the next video, you guys, peace, love, light, positivity, healing, all that good stuff, joy, happiness, everything be unto you as I close out. And I hope to look forward to you coming back. Be sure to share. If you do nothing else, share this video with someone who you know it will help. And I'll see you guys later. Love you.